Hi everyone, my name is Nils and this is ardubicho, and it's my final project for the subject of tangible interaction. Now the goal of the project is to create a small digital creature or companion that can perceive its environment, or what I said, my environment, my ambience, and then interact with the user and gradually learn simple daily routines through repeated interactions it detects. So now without the soft case, we can see that the circuit consists of 3 individual LDR sensors, which will later have these colored transparent pieces over them to measure the red, green and blue light intensity individually. Then there's the temperature sensor, tilt or inclination sensor, a buzzer to play sounds, and a button on the left side and a button on the right side of the board, which will be quite important later on. Now what this allows us to do is that Arduino continuously reads these sensors and sends the information to a processing application, where the companion will then interpret the current context the user is in. Now let's see how it works. We start a sketch and we can see that ardubicho is sleeping. It actually likes to do quite a lot. During the night, if the companion detects a significant increase in brightness, it assumes that the user might have woken up, as you can see right here. Now, instead of just making assumptions, as we can see, the ardubicho will eventually ask the user for confirmation. Now, using the buttons, I can select whichever answer is true. It asks me if I just got up, and then I can tell it that I just, turned the light on, but not that I was sleeping, and now I'm not anymore. Another feature at night is that, as you can see, I'm having a warm light on, but if I now had, say for example, my phone or any other blue light source active, then we can see the image changes, and it also gives me a little warning that tells us the blue light isn't optimal at night. And now, equally, as the light got a little lower, it interprets this as maybe I'm going to bed now. Now I can tell it that I only turn off the light, that I'm still not going to bed, or that I will. In this case, I'm going to select that I will go to bed. And as you can see, the ardubicho now is in a neutral state, it's still awake. If I now turn off the light, we can see it goes back to sleep. So if we now do this during the day, we will see that the ardubicho is sleeping, but it will eventually wake up because it's not sleeping time. And you can see it's sweating because, the temperature sensor is currently detecting over 40 degrees. Now going back to a nightly scenario, we can see that the ardubicho is sleeping, and as there's no light, it will also ask me whether I will go to sleep, as we have already seen. Now what I can do is to ignore this question for 15 seconds, and then it will not take any specific answer, nor take that as to further interpret what I might be doing. Now what I can do is to press a button, and you can see it now wakes up and is curious. However, there's nothing going on. There's no interesting discrepancy between what the expected context is and what the actual context is. And that also works if I shake the ardubicho a bit. So you can see it now also woke up and is curious. Now with the ardubicho sleeping in the background, let me explain a little bit more how this program works. Now we saw that during the night, if the companion detects a significant increase in brightness, it thinks that we might have woken up, as I already said. So if we then answer a question, and here comes the interesting part, the answer is stored together with the current environmental conditions, creating a memory snapshot. That's to say, it might see a high light level right now, but might see a low one, and then it associates that with yes, I am awake, or no, I'm sleeping. So it then has a better idea of what I am doing during specific ambient conditions. So as I explained, we can manually interact with the ardubicho, but it also can automatically wake up as it did right now. And then again, we can interact with it further by answering the questions, or we can just ignore it. Now what this entire snapshot and dataset system will do is that the ardubicho will gradually associate recurring environmental context with the user-confirmed activities, and thus building a lightweight internal model of the user's daily routines, as I explained. For example, if it detects that at 10 in the evening I usually have the light up, and then as we can see now the light is low, it will ask me whether I'm going to sleep now, because it's an unexpected event and it needs confirmation of what exactly is happening. So as we've seen, ardubicho isn't just reacting to sensor values or reading them out, printing them out. It rather observes its environment, my environment specifically, then asks for confirmation when something unusual happens or when it believes a certain action is going on, and then gradually builds a simple memory of recurring daily routines based on that information. And this will ultimately create a continuous interaction loop where physical actions affect the digital companion, and then the companion responds back to the user, for example by asking questions, sleeping, being awake, sweating, and such, as we have seen. Now that's essentially it. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoy the project. Bye.